Hey there, aspiring propulsion engineers. Welcome to today's mock interview session where we'll guide you through some common questions you might face in your upcoming interview. Let's dive right in with our first question. Could you share an experience where you teamed up with others to tackle a complex engineering issue? What was your role in the team, and how did it all turn out? Interviewers ask this to understand how well you work in a team and your specific contributions to solving challenging problems. Here are some tips to help you craft a compelling response. Give a quick overview of the project and the main challenge you faced. Highlight your role and how you contributed to the team's success. Detail the steps you took to tackle the problem and any methodologies used. Share the outcome of the project and the impact it had. Wrap up with any lessons learned or skills you gained from the experience. Now, let's look at how you can put these tips into practice with an example answer.
During a university project, our team faced the challenge of optimizing a rocket propulsion system. My responsibility was the thermodynamic analysis. We employed computational fluid dynamics to model the system, resulting in a 15% efficiency improvement. The project won first place at the Engineering Expo.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Propulsion Engineer. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell us about a time you had to troubleshoot a propulsion system issue and were pressed for time. How did you manage the situation? This question helps interviewers gauge your problem-solving skills and ability to perform under pressure. Let's go through some strategies to effectively answer this question. Begin with a specific example that highlights the urgency of the situation. Explain the steps you took to troubleshoot the issue. Mention any tools or methodologies you applied. Highlight any communication and teamwork involved if relevant. Conclude with the outcome and what you learned from the experience. Here's an example of how you might answer this question.
In my last project, we experienced a critical failure in the propulsion system just hours before a scheduled test. I quickly gathered data from telemetry and noticed a pressure anomaly. Leading the team, we checked the fuel lines and found a blockage, which we cleared in time to complete the test successfully. This situation underscored the importance of swift action and teamwork under pressure.
Can you give an example of a time you led a propulsion engineering project? What obstacles did you encounter and how did you overcome them? The aim here is to assess your leadership capabilities and how you handle challenges. Here's how to construct a strong answer. Start by describing the project and your leadership role. Identify specific challenges and explain why they were significant. Describe the actions you took to address these challenges. Highlight the results or outcomes of your efforts. Mention any skills or tools relevant to propulsion engineering that you utilized. Let's check out an example response to guide you.
In my previous role, I led a team to develop a new type of rocket engine. We faced material selection challenges due to temperature constraints. I organized tests on various materials, collaborated with suppliers, and eventually selected a composite that exceeded our expectations, leading to a 15% increase in efficiency over previous models.
Imagine you're on a team developing a new engine, and it becomes clear that it won't meet the performance specifications as designed. What steps would you take to address this? This situational question evaluates your problem-solving skills and ability to adapt plans when things go off track. Here are some steps to consider in your response. Identify the specific areas where performance is lacking. Communicate your findings with the team and stakeholders promptly. Collaborate to brainstorm potential design changes or improvements. Prioritize solutions based on their impact and feasibility. Establish a revised testing plan to validate any changes. Let's look at an example answer that incorporates these elements.
First, I would identify the key performance parameters that aren't being met and share my findings with the team to ensure everyone is on the same page. We would then brainstorm design modifications and prioritize the most impactful changes. Finally, we'd develop a new test plan to validate our solutions.
If a propulsion component fails during a critical test, how would you proceed to diagnose and fix the issue? This question seeks to understand your approach to system failures and your prioritization of safety and problem solving. Consider these steps when formulating your response. Stay calm and prioritize safety for all personnel and equipment. Immediately halt testing and secure the area to prevent further damage. Conduct a systematic assessment of the data leading up to the failure. Identify the failed component and analyze its conditions and potential causes. Work with your team to brainstorm solutions and plan for further testing. Here's an example to illustrate how you might handle such a scenario.
I would first ensure everyone's safety and halt the test. Then, I'd review the data to identify anomalies prior to the failure. After pinpointing the failed component, I'd analyze it for signs of wear or stress and consult with my team to discuss potential fixes, planning the next steps for a follow-up test.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF, totally free. Just grab it below.